A lot of debate going on these days about what is a living wage. Got a Republican friend who's like, millennials just want to waste all their money on video games. No, millennials waste a lot of money. Let's talk about what's the minimum for a living wage, okay? So let's consider myself, single parent and with one child, okay? And I don't believe in government assistance. I don't get food stamps, HUD, WIC, anything. So my mom helps me a little bit, but that's family, you know. That's not that's neither here nor there. Let's just add it all up, okay? We're gonna look at this real quick, and we're gonna consider what we have here. Now, hope you can see that. Looks like we got basically your rent is for a 2 bedroom in my area. That's Boone, North Carolina. $1,200 for a 2 bedroom minimum. Minimum. That's a crappy 2 bedroom. Probably going to be a trailer. Electric, roughly 150 a month. Car payment, 400. Phone, 50. Food, 400 a month for 2 people. Gas, 200. Water bill, 100. Divide that by 4 weeks a month, and you're looking at 25. 2,500 divided by 4 is going to be 625 a week. And in order to get that before taxes, now before Uncle Sam sticks it to you, is going to be $18 an hour times 35 hours a week, 630. Now, of course, that's going to be after that. That's your before taxes. That's not your take home. And why 35 hours? Because you're lucky if you can even get 35 hours after Obamacare completely ruined everything. So, I mean, employers don't want to give us 40 hours because they don't want to have to pay insurance, right? Generally, they want to give you about 25 to 30 hours a week, and they want you to have an open availability days, nights, and weekends. Well, I'm a single parent. I need to spend some time with my kid, help her with her homework, right? But employers want you to have a completely open availability before they're going to give you enough hours. So technically, 18 an hour is the bare minimum. Now, if you're single, you don't have any kids, you can half that rent, and you can half your electric bill. But I mean, okay, so that's like what, $600 off. It's going to be about $1,900 a month. And maybe I'm not going to do the math right now, but maybe that's sitting around $15, $16 an hour. Now that depends on what your rent is for in your local area, of course. 1,200 is bare minimum for a 2 bedroom in my area, and a 1 bedroom is going to be about $1,000 a month. So if you wanted to live by yourself, you're single, living by yourself, $1,000 a month easily. But you better not have any car problems. Hopefully your car's not going to break down because you don't have any savings at that rate, right? You're not saving any money. There's absolutely no entertainment budget whatsoever. You're not no cable TV, no internet, no streaming services of any kind for you and your kid. Hopefully you can go hiking, right? Because that's going to be about the only entertainment you can afford. But that's not a necessity, we'll just put that all off the side. So single parent without child support, $18 an hour. And people are sitting here acting like 9, 10, 11, 12 is perfectly acceptable. That's not even acceptable for a single person, okay? Like, employers want to sit here and act like they're all high and mighty. Oh, I give someone a job. I help them pay their bills. No, you don't. Rich people generally get rich by taking advantage of poor people. Not always, but usually, okay? Most employers take advantage of their employees. It doesn't matter what you know how to do. You're getting a very small percentage of what's coming in. If the business owner doesn't make enough money, then they're not going to stay in business. If they're not lining their pockets, they ain't staying in business. Maybe like a restaurant owner that just wants to be the boss of themselves and run their own restaurant will, but they're not going to really, it's going to be pretty difficult to get that. I make $17 an hour right now, and breaking even is pretty daggone hard to do, okay? But I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, okay? Don't act like when the government puts out the job reports and they say, we created this many new jobs. Well, how many of those jobs are fast food restaurants and gas stations and grocery stores that are starting out at $10 and $11? One of my Republican friends said that, well, those jobs aren't meant for families. Those jobs aren't meant for adults. Those jobs are meant for high school level, entry level people. Okay, so if that's the case, then the government shouldn't be saying we created 100,000 new jobs this year, because more than half of those new jobs are not paying a living wage. What's a living wage? It, single parent, 18 buck an hour. Now, if you're up in New York, I mean, I'm sure rent is way higher than that. They probably got a higher minimum wage than that, than 725, which down here it's still 725 an hour, but nobody's going to work for 725 an hour. I mean, not even a kid would. I wouldn't even let my kid work for 725 an hour. But I mean, what's the point of trying to sit here and work yourself to half to death for not even a living wage? I mean, I don't support socialism or communism. Those are terrible. Those are awful. What do I say? Boycott those jobs. Boycott the jobs and boycott those businesses that don't pay living wages. But that takes self control, that takes personal responsibility. And people don't want to do that. People want to just sit around and play video games and watch TV when they're done at work. And there's always somebody who's going to take those low paying jobs. Well, money's money. Maybe they don't have rent. Maybe they live with their parents. Maybe they inherited a home. Maybe they take the bus somewhere. You might say a car is a luxury, but not where I live in the mountains, because there's no bus. There's a bus in Boone, North Carolina, but if you're outside of the city limit, you ain't getting on that bus. So outside of the city limits, where you got the cheaper rent. So I mean, Republicans that are hating on liberals for wanting a living wage, okay, it minimum is $18 an hour right now, okay? And that's just for the bare minimum. That is not any entertainment budget. And yeah, millennials are wasting their money. I'm not trying to get on government assistance. We should not be expected to have to be on government assistance. That's wrong. That's messed up. Taxation is theft, okay? All taxation is theft. So that's how it is. So think next time you start thinking that people are just being lazy. We're not lazy. It's that we're not willing to work for less than a minimum wage. Thanks for watching. Love you.